lessons, the Leela of Krishna lifting Govardhan, and these lessons are not only for you, but it's also for me. It's for everybody. So please don't think that I'm preaching and I'm perfect, but I'm also learning. And it's very good. So, we will recite a prayer to Giriraj. What is the identity of Giriraj? First, we will ask Hare Krishna Prabhu to tell us what is the identity of
He is the only person both God and devotee. Besides Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Giriraj is Krishna also and is Krishna's devotee. So many verses say that Govardhan, Giriraj, Giri means mountain, Raj means the king of mountains. Govardhan means, Go means the senses, the cows, the cowherd boys who are called Gopas. Vardhan means to increase, so he increases the pleasure of the cows, the senses, nourishes the cows. He is called Govardhan. And he is in the form of a rock, mountain, which we will find in which state of India? Uttar Pradesh. And so he is considered as Krishna himself, which we will see in this Leela, how he manifested the form of Krishna, and is also considered as the devotee of Krishna. So that is the identity. He is Krishna in the role of a devotee also, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is both. But sometimes it is said if you worship him as a devotee, you get more benefit, because we say when you worship the devotee, it is more, Prabhupada says like that, it is more beneficial than worshipping Krishna directly. Service to devotees is more valuable than service to Krishna. Of course, service to devotees will also engage us in service of Krishna only, then that is a true devotee, right? So that's also there, but sometimes it is said that Krishna says in the Adi Purana, those who are my devotees, they are not my devotees. Those who are devotees of my devotees, they are mine. So anyway, we will offer the prayer first to Giriraj. So the verse is there on the PPT, on the screen. Namaste Girirajaya.
Namaste Girirajaya.
Shri Govardhana Namine.
Shri Govardhana Namine.
Ashesha Klesha Nashaya.
Ashesha Klesha Nashaya.
Paramananda Daine.
Paramananda Daine.
So Namaste means offering respects to Giriraj, who is the king of mountains. This king of mountains is called Shri Govardhan Namine. And what happens when you offer obeisances to Giriraj? Ashesha Klesha Nashaya. Ashesh means unlimited. Klesha means sins. And Nasha means destroyed. Sins are destroyed, unlimited sins are destroyed, and one gets Paramananda, Daine. He gives the supreme bliss. So if you offer respects to Govardhan, this is what will happen. So this is a prayer like a Krishna conscious activity, but we may not be Krishna conscious. Right? That can happen, like we are chanting, we are doing Krishna conscious activity, but we may not be Krishna conscious. So whatever we do, the whole idea of everything that we are doing, deity worship, or hearing about Krishna, is to come to which platform? Always remember
Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Padma Puran says this is the highest instruction. Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavya na chakuchit. Sarve vidhi nishedhyasya itareva. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Means whatever we do, it should remind us of Krishna, it should bring us attachment to Krishna. And we should avoid those activities which will make us away from Krishna. It will make us forget Krishna. That is why it is emphasized twice. Do those things that will remind you of Krishna and avoid those things. And those things are described in the nectar of instruction. What are the things that are favorable, what are the things that are not favorable. Okay, so even in the Bhagavatam, the last verse of Bhagavatam says that Nama Sankirtan Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashana. If one engages, after 18,000 verses, Bhagavatam concludes with this verse, that if you engage in Sankirtan, then all your path will be destroyed. And if you offer obeisances, Pranama Dukkha Shamanas, Tan Namami Pavitra. So somehow or other, Yena Kena Prakarena, Mana Krishna Niveshaya. Somehow or other, Rupa Goswami says, remember Krishna, bring your mind to Krishna. So we do our body, first we bring body, but then ultimately we have to bring our mind to Krishna. So, right? So that is the most difficult thing. So when will our mind come to Krishna? When we have deep love. Ajamil, in his last days, he was remembering his son because he was very attached to his son. So whatever we are attached to, that is on our mind. So all these activities, hearing, chanting, everything is to bring us to the platform of becoming attached to Krishna. So we can remember him now and at the time of death also. Bhagavatam says that your life is successful. Ante Narayana Smriti. Itavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Dharma Parinishtaya Janma Labha Parakumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. Yeah, so that is the preparation. So we try. Actually, love for Krishna is there in our heart. So in the Venu Geet, so this is a picture of Govardhan.
Here.
Yeah. So that is the Govardhan. Have you been to ISKCON Govardhan? Those who have been in this kind of Shila is there. They have Krishna and Balram, two Shilas, Govardhan Shilas. And I think this may be from ISKCON Govardhan. Okay. So, Radharani is speaking this verse in the Bhagavatam, in the Venu Geet section. And we can recite this verse. This is describing why Govardhan is the best of all the devotees. Of all the devotees, Govardhan is the best. Who is speaking? The best devotee is speaking. The best devotee, Radharani, is speaking that Govardhan is the best devotee. We know that nobody can exceed Radharani, right? In her intensity of devotion, her selflessness and her purity of devotion. Nobody can exceed Radharani. But she is saying that Govardhan is the best devotee. That means those who are devotees, they always recognize other devotees as greater than themselves. That is one of the symptoms. Premera Swabhav, those who have prem, Premera Swabhav, yaha Premera Sambandh. Shri Mane Krishna nahi prem karna. He says, I don't have any love for Krishna. The symptom of love of God is, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that's why you see all our acharyas, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when they write the songs, they say, oh, I am afflicted with so many material desires, I am not. So it is not that they are writing just to show that they are humble. They are actually feeling in their heart like that. And that is called Dainya Bhav. Dainya Bhav is extreme humility. So she is saying this verse, so we recite this verse. Hantaya Madrira Bala Haridasa Varyo.
Hantaya Madrira Bala Haridasa Varyo.
Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda.
Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda.
Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayurya.
Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayurya.
Paniya Suya Vasa Kandara Kandamula.
Paniya Suya Vasa Kandara Kandamule.
So read the translation. She is saying, oh, Hanta, this Adrit hill, of all the best devotees, of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. Oh my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balram along with their cows and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers and vegetables. In this way the hill offers respects to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balram, Govardhan hill appears very jubilant. So Radharani is in her village and she cannot go with Krishna every day, right, in the forest. because her family is there. She wants to go. So she becomes very, she feels I'm so helpless. We gopis are so helpless. That's why it is said Abala. Abala means we don't have any strength. But look at this Govardhan. Govardhan has so much strength. He is separated from his family. He also went through a curse. And he is serving Krishna. He is standing in the forest. And he so in our humility, when somebody becomes humble, then they think of the lotus feet of the Lord. Dasya bhav comes, right? When you are humble, Dasya bhav comes. So she is now experiencing Dasya bhav. She is saying, for Radharani, her home is like forest. Because there is Jatila, there is Kutila, mother-in-law and sister-in-law. And they're compared to like wild animals. Always preventing Radha. Of course, they are also great devotees in their own right, because without them we would not have such adventurous pastimes of Krishna. So, but Jatila, because Abhimanyu is married to, Radharani is married to Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu is the shadow potency of Krishna who is there. But to create some excitement, because nobody can be with Radharani other than Krishna. So Abhimanyu, or in Bengali they say Ayan Ghosh, right? And Bengali is Ayan Ghosh. So Abhimanyu, another name. So that is also shadow potency of Krishna. But to create some excitement, Jatila and Kutila are there. But Radharani is not, she cannot glance at Krishna freely, because everybody is looking. Balaram is there, Jatila, Kutila are there. So she has a lot of attachment to Krishna, but she cannot express her attachment. She cannot be with Krishna. So she is saying, oh, this hill, Govardhan, is so strong, and is the best of devotees. Is the best of devotees because he not only serves Krishna, but he serves Krishna's devotees also. Balram, Ram means Balram, or it can refer to Krishna also. Indirectly she is talking from Krishna, but she cannot directly tell Krishna's name. So she has put Ram also in there, and she has put Go and then Gogana, the cows and the cowherd boys. So directly if she talks of Krishna, then somebody may suspect. So she has embedded that Krishna between Ram and the Goganas. So that is how it is described. And she is remembering, where are the lotus feet of Krishna? Where are they? Oh, they are on Govardhan Hill. Because Krishna plays for about 12 hours on Govardhan Hill every day. From the morning he goes. And all the gopis are waiting. Where will Krishna come back? When will Krishna come back? They are waiting, and when the cloud, they see that cloud of dust with all the cows coming, then they have become very excited. Oh, Krishna is coming back, Krishna is coming back. For the whole day, they are waiting for Krishna. And they are thinking of Krishna while doing their deeds. So they are thinking, oh, this Govardhan is in great ecstasy because he is touched by the lotus feet of Krishna. And he is not only serving the cows, he is not only serving Ram and Krishna, he is serving the cows, the cowherd boys. How? By giving nice water for their drinking. The Govardhan at one time, of course we don't go on Govardhan. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they don't climb on Govardhan. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not go. Because Govardhan is the body of Krishna. Is Krishna himself. So we don't climb on Govardhan and go on top of Govardhan. But at one time there were nice waterfalls. There were, and maybe still there were a lot of ponds. There is nice grass on Govardhan, which is very nourishing to the cows. There are nice caves, Kandara, and there are nice flowers and fruits. So Govardhan serves Krishna by, in many different ways. He is in ecstasy serving Krishna. So he is having tears in his eyes. And these tears manifest as the ponds. The ponds Radha Kund and Shyama Kund, which are considered the eyes. Govardhan is in the shape of a peacock. And Radha Kund and Shyama Kund are the eyes of the Govardhan. The neck is the Dan Ghati. Then there is the Puchli, which is the tail, like that. Puchli ka lota baba, we have that. Madhu Mangal is waiting because Krishna went. Akurra came and took Krishna away, and then he had made some kheer. And Krishna said, I'm coming back. And he never came back. So he's waiting for Krishna to lotna. Lotna means to come back. So they call him Puchli ka lota bala. Madhu Mangal is waiting. So there are, he's also in ecstasy, stunned in ecstasy. So he's standing tall like that. Govardhan was very tall. He appeared in Satyuga. He was very tall. You know the story of Pulatsya Rishi. He went to Dronachal, who's the father of Govardhan, and he said, I am coming from Kashi. I don't have nice mountain there in Kashi to do my tapasya. Can you give your son? Because your son is nice. Because yogis want to meditate in the mode of goodness. They're in a nice place. Right? Previously we used to have our sadhu sangha in Boone Valley, in North Carolina. It's very nice. I think we went. We all went. First time or second time it happened. So we want to have in a nice lap. So yogis also like to meditate in a very nice environment. In Kashi, there is no hill like that. So Dronachal was hesitant. He said, you ask Govardhan. Govardhan said, okay, I will go, because he had a plan. He wanted to come and stay in Braj. So, but he said, don't take me here and there. Just put me wherever you put me, I'll stay there. And Pulatsya Muni, he went with Govardhan. He was taking him to Kashi. And on the middle, the Braj, he had to respond to the call of nature. So when you have to respond to the call of nature, you forget everything. Right? So he put Govardhan down. And he did his thing, and then he came back. And he said, no, now I can't move. Because there's, remember, a contract. That was our contract. Pulatsya Rishi got very mad and he said, I curse you that you will sing the size of a mustard seed every day. And so Govardhan was very tall. He appeared in Satyuga. But then he's sinking. Actually, they say Govardhan cannot be affected by any curse of any rishi. But because after Radha and Krishna left in Dwapar Yuga, then he became very sad. So he was standing tall. Then he started sitting down, slowly sitting. And one day will come, they say, when Govardhan will be completely submerged, then Kali Yuga will start in full force. So Govardhan will be submerged. So Govardhan is in ecstasy, seeing Radha and Krishna. Actually, one time in the spiritual world, Radharani asked Krishna, can you create a nice place for me where we can have nice Ras Leela and nice dance? And so Krishna said yes. And the love from his heart, Krishna's heart, manifested as some light, and that expanded, that love. It expanded. How much Krishna loves Radharani? There is no limit. So it kept expanding. And Krishna had to say, okay, stop. And then that whole mountain, it became like a huge mountain, and it settled down there in the spiritual world. There is a Govardhan in the spiritual world. But Radharani said, I will not go to material world unless there is Yamuna, unless there is Govardhan, and unless there is Vrindavan. I will not go there. So then somehow Govardhan came here also. And Yamuna, they say, one devotee was saying that when Radha and Krishna were performing Ras Leela with all the gopis in the spiritual world, they were sweating profusely. Now don't tell me how they are sweating, because they have transcendental body. Only material bodies sweat, right? But they are sweating. And all the sweat from all Radha, Krishna and all the gopis. And Radharani said, oh, this is our love, this is our pastime, we are Ras Leela is the highest. This should go into the material world. This whole should go into the material world as a river. And how did that happen? That came as Yamuna, it is said. So the Yamuna is also the sweat of Radha and Krishna and all the gopis from the spiritual world. So, okay, my PPT went away. So anyway, what is the next slide? Krishna is doing something in my head. Otherwise it opens, but today it's not opening. Okay, so I have to look there. Okay, so then Raghunath Das Goswami, he has composed a prayer for Govardhan. And this prayer is very nice. Since I don't know the prayer by heart, I will ask somebody to recite it, and I can't see it at the back. Somebody like to sing the verse.
We taught him. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nirupadhikarupnena Shri Sachinandanena Vaika.
Yeah, you can repeat, yeah.
निरुपति करुणेना श्री सच्चिदानंदनेना
Vaikapati Shatobhi Tvatpriyenarpitosmi.
त्वयि कपटस्थोऽपि त्वत्प्रियेणार्पितोऽस्मि
Iti khadu mama yogyata mam agritnan.
इति खलु मम योग्यता मामग्रहणात्
Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam.
निज निकट निवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम्.
So, now it opened. So he's saying Raghunath Das Goswami has Govardhan Vasa Prarthana Dashakam, 10 verses, because he wants to recite at Govardhan. So he's saying this is a prayer we can offer. Although I am a cheater and a criminal, unlimited merciful Lord Sachinandan, who is very dear to you, has given me to you. O Govardhan, please do not consider whether I am acceptable or not, but simply grant me residence near you. So we can pray to Govardhan. Govardhan has a lot of strength and lot of mercy, gives lot of mercy. So we can pray on this day. Govardhan is right there. We can pray to Govardhan that please give me the strength and the purity. I am not pure at all. So we can pray to Govardhan. Please help me to be engaged in the service of Radha Krishna. So Raghunath Das Goswami was given Gunjamala and Govardhan Shila by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some sannyasi came from Vrindavan and he gave him this Govardhan Shila and a Gunjamala. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. So he was wearing that Govardhan Shila always around his neck, and every time he would be crying tears in separation, so that tears would be washing that Govardhan Shila. He would take the Govardhan Shila and he would press it to his eyes to smell it like that, because he knows this is where Krishna's pastimes happened. This is Krishna, not different from Krishna. So later on, because of Raghunath Goswami's devotion and renunciation, this same Shila was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami thought, by giving me this Shila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given me a residence at Govardhan. So Gunjamala represents Radharani and the Govardhan Shila represents Krishna. But then what happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, Swarup Damodar left, Gadadhar Pandit left. So he wanted to commit suicide. So he said, I will go to Govardhan and I will jump from the top of Govardhan and commit suicide. So when he was going to commit suicide, then he met Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami said, no, don't commit suicide. Because the Antya Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri. And you were witness to that Antya Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please tell us, you don't commit suicide. And he was very depressed. So Rupa Goswami also, when Raghunath Das Goswami read all the separation pastimes, he was very depressed. Then Rupa Goswami wrote a book, Dana Keli Kaumudi. Kaumudi is like comedy. So there were many pastimes. So Rupa Goswami had written Dana Keli Kaumudi. And so Raghunath Das Goswami was stopped by Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami also wanted to commit suicide at one time, right? When he had all the oozing sores on his body, he wanted to commit suicide. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, your body belongs to me. How can you commit suicide? How can you take somebody else's property? So then Raghunath Das Goswami sat at Radha Kund and he was speaking on the Antya Leela and all the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And in that audience was
Krishnadas Kaviraj.
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was 95 years old, around approximately that much. And he was sitting in that audience and he was taking notes. And that's why he compiled all this Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. It was compiled by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami based on what he heard from Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami was very attached to living at Govardhan and he wrote this prayer. So let me go on, we less time. So the next slide, how this I am describing how the different acharyas in our Gaudiya Sampradaya were related to Govardhan. And then we will talk about the Leela and the lessons. Sanatana Goswami also was very attached to Govardhan. He had a like fixed quota of how many times he would circumambulate Govardhan. He was absorbed. And he was the Guru of Vrindavan. Everybody liked him so much. Because anytime anybody had a dispute or anything, they would go to Sanatana Goswami. And he was considered the Guru of Vrindavan. That's why on Guru Purnima is also the disappearance day of Sanatana Goswami, when Sanatana Goswami passed away. On that day in Vrindavan, in memory of Sanatana Goswami, there is a huge gathering at Govardhan and they do a parikrama of Govardhan hill. Because Sanatana Goswami was so dear to them and he liked to do Govardhan parikrama. So, if we get chance, we should do Govardhan parikrama. And of course, everything we do with the mood of devotion. So like that when we do Govardhan parikrama, by doing Govardhan parikrama, our parikrama in this material world will stop. If you do it the right, we are doing parikrama, right? We are going from up and down. Brahmanda Brahmite Komopagyavanji. Here also, this is also Govardhan. Yes, we are going to do parikrama here today. So, yeah, it is also a state of consciousness. One thing is Govardhan is there in Vrindavan and you do parikrama, but wherever you do, if you think this is Govardhan, then Govardhan manifests there. So this is Govardhan actually. So all our temples are like Vrindavan. And this is Govardhan we are celebrating by Prabhupada's mercy. So Sanatana Goswami, when in his old age, he could not do Govardhan Parikrama because he was very old. So then Krishna personally came and said, stop doing the Parikrama, you don't have to do. Like Haridas Thakur, when he was old, he was depressed. I cannot chant my rounds. Not 16, he was not chanting 16 rounds. How many rounds was that? 192 rounds he was chanting. And he was saying he was feeling very sad. Oh, I cannot chant my rounds. And Mahaprabhu said, you don't have to chant your rounds now. Take it easy, you don't have to chant. Similarly, Krishna came to Sanatana Goswami and said, now you are old, now you don't have to do parikrama. So, you can see the spirit. Even Prabhupada, in his last days, he wanted to go on do a Govardhan parikrama. So they arranged a bullock cart and there was two groups of disciples. One said, no, he cannot go on parikrama because his body is too frail. He cannot take all the jolts that will come on the parikrama and all the things. And then, so there was a big debate going on. Ultimately, Krishnadas Babaji came and he said, okay, you should not go. And Prabhupada didn't go. But that was the spirit. He wanted to preach also, Prabhupada. Till the last day he wanted to preach. He went to UK and so many places. And then he could not go any further because of his health. So this is the mood of the acharyas. Till the very last, they will give their last energy, drop of blood to serve Krishna. So he wanted to do, so Krishna said, no, please don't take so much. What I will do, he stood on a Govardhan rock, he played his flute, and because of that, the stone melted and the footprint of Krishna got imbibed in that stone. And that stone, he said, if you do 7 times, then that is equivalent to Govardhan Parikrama. So that stone is where? In the Radha Damodar temple. In Jiva Goswami's temple, Radha Damodar, where Srila Prabhupada used to live, and where there is the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami also, and Jiva Goswami. So that is how Sanatana Goswami was attached to Govardhan. Then Madhvendra Puri also, he was also very attached to doing Govardhan Parikrama. So Gopal Diti, one day he was sitting at Govindpur and he was remembering Krishna very much and he had not eaten for many days. So one boy came, so this is the picture. One boy came and he offered him milk. And Madhavendra Puri had Ajgar Vritti. Ajgar Vritti means he will not go and beg for food. No Madhavendra. If somebody came and gave him food, he will eat. Otherwise, he will not eat. Like now we have prasadam, so many of us will be eager. he was saying, okay, if somebody comes and gives me a plate, then I will eat. So like that, it's called Ajgar. So he was sitting there at Govardhan, and Krishna came and gave him some milk. And then he tasted the milk. It was so nice, so wonderful. And then he left. He said, I have to go back. I'll come back to collect my pot later. And then he fell asleep. And then in his mind, he got a dream. The same boy came who had come to give him milk and said, I am hidden in the bushes. You please take me out and install me on the top of Govardhan. So that deity is actually Srinathji, which is now near Udaipur, Nathdwara, Udaipur, close to Udaipur. So that deity was established on the top of Govardhan. And at that time, Madhavendra Puri had done a Govardhan, the parikrama, and so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was remembering when he went to Govardhan, he was remembering how Madhavendra Puri had done this parikrama. So like that. And of course he wanted to see, there's a whole little story, but not okay, so the Leela little bit in brief. Krishna was 7 years old. And one day he saw his father and all the Vrajvasis. They were doing some very busy. They were collecting some paraphernalia for a yajna. So Krishna asked his father, Father, what are we doing here? What is this yajna for? Which guru told you? Which scripture is mentioning? Who is going to be benefited by this yajna? Krishna is telling us that we should not do anything blindly. So he is telling Nanda Baba, who has told you to do this yajna? Please tell me. Nanda Baba was not very forthcoming because he was thinking Krishna is 7 years old. He will not understand all what we are doing. But Krishna said, no, I am your family member. You should tell me, whatever you are doing. I am not your enemy. No secret should be there between. So then finally he made him sit on his lap, and then everybody was there, and Nanda Baba said, we are cowherd people, so we have to get rain because we are depending on the rain for agriculture, for cows. So every year we worship Indra because Indra is in charge of rain, and that is why we worship Indra. And because in return for this worship, Indra will give us rain and everything. Nanda Baba, Krishna said, well, but no, an ocean doesn't do you any yajna, but it rains there also. And he spoke what is called karmavad, karma mimamsa philosophy. He said, no, only if we do nice, some people have this, only if we do nice activities. हमने किसी का बुरा नहीं किया है, हम तो अच्छे आदमी हैं, we don't believe so much in God, but we only do good activities. So Krishna told that kind of philosophy. We have to do good karma, then good things will come automatically. We don't have to worship Indra. And we have never seen Indra, right? We don't know whether he exists or not. We have never seen Indra. So some people have this philosophy that they believe in karma, in reincarnation and everything, but they don't accept that there is any God or anybody in control. That is called karma mimamsa philosophy. That is wrong philosophy. That is partially correct, but not fully correct. So then Nanda Baba was very worried. He thought, if we stop this yajna which was going on for centuries, before his generation it was going on, then what will happen? Indra may become angry. So he said, okay. And Krishna also said, Nanda Baba, take all this paraphernalia and worship Govardhan hill. Because Govardhan is providing everything for us. So worship Govardhan hill. Nanda Baba was not very happy because he was thinking, what will happen if we displease Indra? He may become angry. Like sometimes devotees of ISKCON come and say, now you worship Krishna. And they say, I have been worshipping Ganesh for so many days. And so what will happen? Will Ganesh become angry? Will this Devata become angry? Will that be? How many Devatas are there?
330 million.
330 million demigods. Think how many Devatas you can worship. And one day you worship this, Tuesday. Instead, Bhagavatam says, pour water on the root of the tree. Yatha taror mula nishechanena vipyanti tatskanda bhujo. Water will be distributed everywhere. So if Krishna is satisfied, all the demigods, because they are all the limbs of Krishna's body, they will automatically be satisfied. Another example it gives is, if you feed food to the stomach, then all the hands, legs, everything will be nourished. You don't have to do separately. So, Nanda Baba said, we will do Indra Puja today and tomorrow we'll do Govardhan. You want to do Govardhan? Tomorrow we'll do. Krishna said, no. This doesn't work. Shubhasya
Shigram.
Shigram. Don't wait. If something is auspicious, we say like this when we go to distribute books. They say, when I come to I will take. Afterwards I will take, not. So this Shubhasya Shigram. If you have to take Bhagavad Gita, you should take now, because tomorrow we don't know. So sometimes we think I will chant holy name when I am older. No. Older, then no, not happen. We don't know. Tomorrow what will bring. Now is the time. So we have to become Krishna conscious now. Okay, we have not become Krishna conscious for many years, but now is the time. So every time we should think now is the time, because what has gone past, we cannot change that. But now I can change. So today is also our Gujarati New Year, right? So it's a New Year. It's like to make some resolution. It's now, let this be a New Year. Like we should join Krishna consciousness movement every day, right? Navin Krishna says, right, I'm new to Krishna consciousness. So if we maintain that, yes, now I have to do, then our enthusiasm will be there. Otherwise we think, oh, it's the same devotees, same Govardhan Leela is happening, same Hare Krishna mantra. After some time we feel like that, right? But Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam Tadeva Sashvam Manaso Mahotsavam Tadeva Shokarnava
Shoshanam Yad
Yad Uttama Shloka Yasho Anudhiyate. Bhagavatam says, this is like a festival every day for the mind. If you are finding taste in Krishna consciousness, every time you chant Hare Krishna, every time you see Radha Natpal, every time you do some service, it should give you more and more bliss and more happy. Every time you hear Govardhan Leela, and there's commentaries of different acharyas, you hear, it should become like Ruchiram, Navam, getting newer and newer taste. That is how where we want to come to, right? So, and that dries up the ocean. Shokarnava means the ocean. It is a festival for the mind and it dries up the ocean of the lamentation. Yes. One who sings the glories of the son of Yashoda. It's not saying, that is another verse. Aho Virna Kalin Viduya. Yeah, so one who sings about Uttama Shloka, then, one will be very happy. Prabhupada says, if you chant Hare Krishna, you will never be unhappy in any condition of life. Isn't that the goal? To be always happy in service. So when we give selfless service to Krishna, that's when we become the most happy, actually. That is the trick. When we try to find happiness for ourselves, then we don't get happiness. But when we do, Bhagavatam says, Savai Pumsam Parodharmo Yato Bhakti Radoksuche Ahetukiya Pratihata Yatma Suprasita. When we do without any motivation, just to please Krishna, if that is the motive, then the soul will be completely satisfied. Then automatically you become Atmaram. If you become Atmaram, then you don't need anything from outside. Karma means you are doing those activities because you are unfulfilled inside, you want something from outside to fulfill yourself. Right? I want this Tesla car, I want some person or something. Because internally fulfillment is not there, so we are looking for, I want nice dress and like that. Of course, we can use all in Krishna's service, I'm not saying that. But if you are satisfied from within, from service to Krishna, then you can be happy in all situations of life. That is what we want to come to. We may not be there, I am not there, but that is where we want to go. So here Krishna is convincing Nanda Baba. So then he said, how do we worship Govardhan? Well, we should take all this paraphernalia, cook everything nice. Samosas, kachori, then there were eggs of sweet rice. Then there was all varieties of sabjis. And they said, cook everything and offer it, mountains to Govardhan. So they made a huge this thing and they offered it to Govardhan. And Krishna said, after we offer it to Govardhan, we should circumambulate Govardhan. So all the cows and everybody should circumambulate. And everybody should get prasad, even the dogs, nobody should be barred. Everybody should get prasad. So when they offered, and Govardhan assumed the form of Krishna and with his two arms. There was Krishna standing in front and there was Krishna on the hill. This is showing that Govardhan is not different from Krishna. And Krishna with his two arms, he just ate everything. He ate everything. There was nothing left and he's still not satisfied. He's saying, Aniyor, give me more, give me more. But there is nothing left. They used all their things. Then Krishna gave a tulsi leaf. Tulsi leaf, if you give to Krishna, then he'll be satisfied. Then he ate and everything became manifest. Back, all the prasadam came back. So all the devotees were very happy. And they were doing parikrama. Everybody was enjoying except Indra. Indra was very unhappy. So he is speaking a verse in the Bhagavatam. We will recite this verse. This is spoken by Indra, by the way. He is chastising Krishna. But our Acharya has given a different commentary. You will see there. Vachalam balisham stabdham
Balisham Sabdam
Agyam pandita manina
Agyam Pandita Manina
Krishnam martyam upashritya
Krishna Martyam Upashritya
Gopa me chakrura priyam.
Gopa Me Chakrura Priyam.
Vachalam, this talkative boy, Indra is telling. This talkative boy, balisham, very foolish, childish, stabdam, very arrogant, agyam, ignorant. He thinks himself as his great pandit. What he has done, all the gopas, he has misguided all the gopas into worshipping this Govardhan hill. I will show to him what I am. Actually, he was proud. He was thinking the other people are proud. He was proud himself, and the whole Leela happened because Krishna wanted to protect Indra from being falsely proud. So our Acharya Sridhar Swami, he says, Vachalam. Vachalam has another meaning. He always speaks, if you read the purport of this in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned in the commentary. Vachalam means he always speaks according to Vedic authority. So Krishna is speaking according to Vedic authority. Balisham, child has no pretense. Child will speak anything, right? The truth. So he's speaking the truth, he's like Balisham. Stabdam, he's arrogant. Indra is saying he's arrogant. Our Sridhar Swami is saying, he doesn't need to bow down to anybody else. Everybody has to bow down to him. Krishna doesn't need to bow down. Unless, of course, to Radharani and others, but nobody needs to bow down. So he is arrogant. Yeah, it's okay. Agyam. Agyam, another meaning is, he knows everything. There is nothing else for him to know. Krishna says, I know everything that has happened in the past. Vedaham samatitani, vartmanani cha arjuna, bhavishyani cha bhutani, mam tu vedana krishna. And pandita manina. All the pandits think he's a very great person. So it's twisted, the meaning. So Sridhar Swami says, actually Indra is glorifying Krishna. Our acharyas are like, and Krishna martyam upashritya. Martyam means he is like an ordinary human being, he's in a martya lok, he has appeared. But actually Krishna, Sridhar Swami says, no, he has appeared in this world to deliver all his devotees. So like that, our acharyas give a different meaning of this verse. So then what happened? Indra called the Sanvartaka clouds, the clouds that come at the time of dissolution, destruction. And for them, they destroy a whole world, right? So they said, all your might on this Vrindavan, finish it off. Indra said, finish Krishna and all the Vrajvasis. Not a single soul should be alive. Indra became so angry, So then Sanvartaka clouds, I heard somewhere. When Trinavarth came, they had taken Krishna up in the sky, and Krishna had killed him in the high in the crime in the air, right? He just put his arm and to Trinavarth and choked him there, up in the air. Sanvartaka clouds had seen this. They said, Indra, you don't know the power of this person. You were telling us to go and destroy Vrindavan, but you don't know really what he is. Indra said, you do it, or I will give you punishment. Like that in Ramayana, that is who's that? Marich, right? Marich. Ravan said, if you don't go and become a deer, and then I will kill you. He knew, Marish knew the power of Ram because he had hit an arrow and he had gone so many miles back. So he said, now this one side is Ram and another side is Ram. Where should I go? He said, okay, better to die at the hand of Ram. He has to die anyway. Ram is going to kill. So Sarvada clouds were feeling like that. Anyway, so we have to do our job. So then Sarvada clouds came over Vrindavan. It was pitch dark. Suddenly it became pitch dark. And wind started blowing. Thunder, lightning, and it started raining, and it was like lightning was coming and whole Vrindavan was flooded. There was no highland, there was no lowland, everything was submerged in water, everything started getting submerged in water. And all the cows, they were looking at this is described in Anand Vrindavan Champu. They were looking at the clouds and with great, and all the cows were like hurtling towards their mothers. And they all, whenever they have difficulty, they know only one person can rescue us. Another thing I want to tell, Vrajavasi means, Nanda Maharaj knew that it was a great risk to stop Indra Puja. But he did it. For Krishna they will do anything. This is the mood of Vraj. Anything. Like gopis also. Krishna called in the middle of the night, playing on the flute. They left everything and they came. Even at the risk of being ostracized from their family. So these are the Vrajvasis. If you want to enter into Vraj, we can see their devotion and their caliber of devotion. They are ready to do anything for Krishna. And Prabhupada's disciples also had this kind of mood. Prabhupada told them they would do anything. Prabhupada told Brahma, somebody told Prabhupada, you are not preaching in Muslim countries. In Pakistan we don't have it. Prabhupada called Brahmananda, go to Pakistan. And Brahmananda went to Pakistan. Like that. Sometimes they would be going in a train and then say, oh, there is no temple here. Okay, get down here, start a temple. And they have nothing. Like Malti Prabhu and all, they went to UK. You can see the caliber of that surrender. Right? They are willing to do anything and everything to satisfy Krishna. So when you are at that kind of consciousness, that's very high consciousness. And they will take great risk to satisfy Krishna. So Nanda Baba took a great risk. So we can appreciate. We may not be there, certainly I am not there at all. But by appreciating those who are great devotees, we also make advancement in our bhakti. If we appreciate somebody's devotion and surrender, oh, how much they are doing, then we also get credits. Okay, so where are we? So then, Indra called these clouds and they started pouring rain and then everything was submerged and they went to Krishna. Normally, Krishna knew this is the work of Indra. So before Krishna has to do anything, he tightens his belt. Like when he jumped in the Jamuna to battle with Kaliya, he tightened his belt. But this time he didn't even call her to tighten his belt. He just ran because he wanted to show to Indra, you are nothing against me. And then he lifted the whole Govardhan hill on his little finger. And now Krishna is 7 years old, so he's not very tall. So how can everybody come inside? So there was a hill that was made. Like you see, there's a hill here on which Krishna is standing. And then he lifted the Govardhan. And that hill was made of jewels and had a staircase. And Gopal Champu, Jiva Goswami describes, underneath the Govardhan hill there were lush green fields. The cows were grazing. There were all kinds of lakes and ponds and very nice scene was there. And all the Gopas, they came, come. And all the Gopas came there. And they were all under the Govardhan hill. And Krishna was lifting and everybody was marveling at the beauty of Krishna. Now in this pastime, Krishna is reciprocating with all the devotees and all the rasas. This is the only pastime where Krishna simultaneously reciprocates with all the devotees. There was Yashoda, there were friends of Krishna like Madhumangal, and so they were joking with Krishna. Yashoda was having her own anxiety about Krishna, which we will see. Then Nanda Baba, the cows were there, the gopis were there, the gopis were looking at Krishna because now nobody can stop them looking at Krishna because it's an emergency situation, right? Like they say, what everybody was saying, in India there is separation of genders, right? For men and women, different toilets and things like that. So many. But when you go into the bus, everybody goes inside. There is no like man or woman like that, right? Because it's an emergency. You have to catch the bus, otherwise you don't get. Or sometimes they have different compartments for ladies or something like that in the trains. But in the bus, everybody rushes in like that. So it was an emergency situation. So gopis were looking at Krishna, and Krishna was looking at them, and then through Krishna's glance, he was entering into their hearts, and the gopis were embracing Krishna in their hearts. So like that Krishna, everybody was feeling that Krishna is looking at me. Like if I am looking at somebody, and I am not looking at this person. But Krishna can reciprocate with everybody, and everybody will have feeling Krishna is mine. It is only mine. Your own personal, like you can say, form of Krishna you can have. So this is the power of Krishna. So Krishna was lifting Govardhan. I like this conversation very much. I have told this before. So then Madhu Mangal is there. He's telling Krishna, Krishna, and we are almost over, but Madhu Mangal is telling Krishna, Krishna, if you get tired, give the hill to me. I can hold it on my stick. I am a Brahmana. And all the Gopa friends know that Krishna does not have much strength actually. Because they defeat him in the wrestling match, right? Sridham defeats Krishna. So they know Krishna is not so powerful. Sometimes they say, Tumi kaun bada lo? Tumi ami sham. You are not big person. We are equals. So all the Gopas are saying, okay, yeah. And Yashoda is in anxiety because she is in Vatsalya Ras. She is chastising Krishna. Krishna, you have become so restless, you stop this Indra Yagna. What do you think will happen if you disrespect the great controllers? What is going to happen? Like sometimes when the child does something, my mother used to chastise me, instead of sometimes, why did you do this, Why did you? So she's chastising Krishna. Why did you have to stop this? And then she started praying to Govardhan. Because she knew Krishna's hand is so soft, like very soft and very... she said, Govardhan, if you are some kind of devta or something, please become light on the hand of my Krishna. And Madhu Mangal is saying that, no, is Krishna lifted this hill? If Krishna did not lift this hill, then how would we have this sweet pastime of Krishna lifting Govardhan and see how beautiful he looks? And Yashoda is saying, you call this a sweet? My child is going through so much distress, Look at, there is his hair, his perspiration drops in his hair, and his face has become very like a lotus wilted by the snow. Anand Vrindavan Champu se. His face has become, and you call this very sweet? And Krishna says, no, Maya, it is not like that. We worship Govardhan hill very nicely, so Govardhan has become light. I am just balancing it. Yashoda says, I don't believe you. If Govardhan is light, then let him detach from your finger and float in the air. Then I will believe that Govardhan is light. Madhu Mangal is telling Krishna and Yashoda, it is not actually Krishna who is lifting the hill. I am a Brahmana, I chanted mantras, that is holding the hill up. Krishna is doing a balancing act. Because they say, Krishna is not lifting the Govardhan hill. It is because he has eaten the butter that the gopis he was stealing. Radharani cooks for him, so it is Radharani's kripa. And what happened after some time, Krishna's arm trembled because he looked at Radharani. So his arm trembled. And the whole hill was like moving. And so the Gopas were thinking, yes, he's becoming weak. So they were putting their sticks also. So Madhu Mangal is saying, no, it is not Krishna who is lifting the hill. I am a Brahmana, I chanted mantras, that is holding the hill. And Yashoda is saying, Madhu Mangal, this is no time for joke. My son is in so much distress. Nanda Baba says, hey, Yashoda, he is encouraging his friend. Our son is in such a great difficulty. He is encouraging. Why are you stopping Madhu Mangal? You should not stop Madhu Mangal. So like that, there was a nice... they were debating. They were like, Yashoda had her anxiety and they were all having fun. So it's already 7:30. But... Yeah. There is some. So then what happened is that after 7 days and 7 nights, yeah, and when Krishna's hand was shaking, what happened? They put their sticks. And Krishna was thinking, they are thinking they are holding the Govardhan. So he lowered the hill down. And all the sticks started cracking. And then Krishna wanted all the gopis to come near. Giridhari can expand, the mountain can expand, but can also contract. So he started contracting the hill. So all the devotees are coming closer to Krishna because Krishna wants everybody to come closer. So Krishna was doing all these tricks standing under Govardhan. And then somebody said, Krishna, don't play your flute. Because we know what happens when you play your flute. What happens? Mountains melt in ecstasy. Yamuna stops flowing. What everybody becomes stunned. So says Krishna, don't play your flute. Because if you play your flute, then what will happen to Govardhan? Another Gopa is saying, no, it's not like that. Govardhan is a great personality. So they know, they don't show their emotions in public. They don't show their emotions in public. So Govardhan will maintain. Even though he will go into ecstasy, he will not melt. So there was a storm above, right? And there was a storm below the Govardhan hill. And what was the storm? Krishna was the blue rain cloud. And his Kaustubamani was the sun. And the gopis' garments, gopis were like lightning, golden color. And the peacock feather was the rainbow. And Krishna was showering his glances of mercy on everybody. There was a storm going on.
And flute sound.
And the flute sound was thunder. So like that. There was lightning, thunder, clouds, rainbow, everything going under Govardhan. So after some time, Indra thought, I succeeded, right? So he sent somebody to see what is going on. They reported, yeah, everything is submerged, there is nobody. But there is one hill that is a little bit. Go, look, what is it? And they look. Oh, they seem to be enjoying more than before. Everybody is near the hill and they are enjoying more than before. And Indra could not believe it. So Indra told Sanvarta clouds, go, try harder. More winds. Blow that mountain. And they said, we are exhausted now, we tried. Indra said, I will go myself. And he came on Airavat and with his thunderbolt, he was striking Govardhan. But what was happening? All these water was falling. Govardhan was getting a nice abhishek. And he was glowing and glowing. There was one more reason. Sometimes Krishna goes to visit Chandravali. And he has to cross Govardhan. So there were some footprints of Krishna on Govardhan. So Krishna told Govardhan, can you wipe out those footprints? Govardhan said, no, I cannot do that because I am on the side of Radha. I cannot do that. So then the plan was devised. Krishna said, okay, if you are not doing that, I will lift. And when all the rain came, all the footprints and everything was erased. And Govardhan, who had become little messy and dirty little bit, all that he was getting a nice abhishek. And after 7 days and 7 nights, Indra could not even separate one leaf from any tree or any grass he could uproot. This is what happened. And so he realized, oh, I did a big mistake. He was humiliated right in front of... So Krishna protected the Vrajvasis, but Krishna also protected Indra. How? Because Indra had pride in his heart. So sometimes Krishna creates situations in our life to remove our false ego. We all have that experience, right? So, in the Columbus community also, we feel that. So, Krishna creates situations for us so that we can become humble. They say if you are not humble, then you will be humbled. So, better to learn our lesson, otherwise Krishna has to perform the surgery. And that surgery can be very painful. So if we already become humble, then it is not so difficult. So then Krishna protected Indra also. And then after that, Indra went to Brihaspati. And we will end with this. Indra went to Brihaspati, his spiritual master. What should I do now? Brihaspati said, you did great blunder. You not only try to kill Krishna, but you try to kill his devotees also. There are many different offenses to Vaishnavas. Hanti, Nindanti, Vaidveshti. Hanti means to kill. To criticize is one thing, to be envious, but to kill, oh, that's a big offense. So he said, now what should I do? What should I do? He said, take somebody who is dear to Krishna and go with them and beg for forgiveness. So in one sense, we all came to this material world, we have offended Krishna. We came to this material world. Sometimes we say we came from Brahma Jyoti, sometimes we... But I am more of the thing that we were in the spiritual world and we came here because we have a swarup in the spiritual world. Our original swarup is there in the spiritual world. We serve Krishna in certain capacity. Of course, I'm not saying this way or that way, whatever it is. But we have our original identity in the spiritual world. It's called Swarup Siddhi. And when you, like Narottam Das Thakur has the service of boiling milk in the spiritual world. So anyway, wherever we came from, we don't want to go there. So anyhow, so then Surbi came. Surbi is the cow which is very dear to Krishna. So when we offend Krishna, so we have to take shelter of a devotee, like Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee, and approach Krishna. Then we can be expected to be forgiven for our offenses. So Surbi came, and at Surbi Kund, they performed an Abhishek of Krishna. Then Airavat came. Airavat did. There is a picture. Yeah. Airavat is taking water from the Manasi Ganga, no, from not Manasi, Mandakini Ganga, Akash Ganga, and then he is doing Abhishek at Airavat Kund. And at Govind Kund, Krishna got the name Govinda. Before that, there was no name Govinda. Brahma says, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So how come Indra gave the name Govinda? It is said in the Bhagavatam, Indra gave them. No, this is cyclic, all pastimes, so we have to take it like that. And then all the demigods, they did Aarti to Krishna. Lord Shiva came, Lord Brahma came. And they put Krishna on a throne and they were doing Aarti. And then what happened? They left. Then the Gopas came, Krishna's friends came. And they saw all this Aarti of going. So they made Krishna sit on the throne. And they started doing Aarti to Krishna as if they were playing Aarti. Not 7 times or 4 times, nothing like that. You have to do 7 times and 4 times, nothing. No, they were doing Aarti. And the demigods were looking from the top. Oh, the Gopas are doing Aarti. And Krishna is enjoying more than when we were doing. And then Yashoda and Nanda Baba came. And they said, where did this big charmer, where did this big conch and all this come? And the Gopas were saying, oh, we saw a 4-headed person. He came. And then there was Lord Shiva with a snake, and he was with, and they were thinking, oh, what is this Krishna? How can all these Gopas, they are all just speaking all. How can we believe this voice? So, but Krishna was enjoying more the Aarti done by the Gopas than done by the demigods because they have spontaneous love for Krishna. So this is Vraj Bhakti. Vraj Bhakti Mata is not here, but. Okay, so we can say so many things, but we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.